Hello everyone, and welcome back to Everyday Husband Quotes, the channel for marriage advice, marriage entertainment, and everything else marriage. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Recently, Latisha Scott did an interview with YouTuber DJ Richie Sky, and I want to talk about the interview in this video. Now, some of the tea she spilled during that interview was when Melody and Martell Holt took the vacation together with their children over the summertime. Actually, this happened back in June of this year. Latisha revealed that she was there along with her husband, Marsau Scott. Now, if this is the same vacation that Melody and Martell Holt took together as a family with their kids and their mothers, from what I can recall, Melody said she invited Martell and his mom on the trip. She didn't mention anyone else was there, and if that is true, then honey, it sounds like Latisha and Marsau just popped up, which sounds kind of suspect because who randomly pops up on a family vacation and you're not family? Plus, we not even friends in real life, but just people who work together and try to get along for the purpose of a show. But I guess we shall see how all that plays out on this season of Love and Marriage Huntsville and see if it's true how Latisha is portraying it to be. So continuing on in this interview where Latisha talks about Melody and Martell's family vacation, she tells DJ Richie Sky, I think there's something already out about the family trip, so you will see us pop up, with them on their family trip. And it was cordial. It was a cordial conversation. So hopefully at this point we can keep it moving because I think we all will be friends again. But if not, we can be co-workers. Latisha goes on to tell DJ Richie Sky that all this talk of Melody and Martell posting on social media, they wanted to do the same thing back then when Melody found out about Martell's infidelity, and this was before the show even started. Honey. So y'all, I'm not going to detail everything in the interview Latisha did with DJ Richie Sky, but Latisha is saying that before Love and Marriage Huntsville made its premiere back in 2019, the foundation of their friendship was rocky. Hence why the comeback group was a rocky business deal between everybody because it wasn't solid from the beginning. And so Latisha feels that she gets called out a lot, like the time Melody referred to Latisha as the enemy, as the op, without people even knowing the full story. So Latisha says before the show, Mel and Martell, the Scotts, we was all really close. We hung out all the time, over each other's house, got up in the morning, talked, everything. Then when the infidelity happened with Martell, that was like 2 years before we started filming. We was there for Mel the whole process, helping her through it, talking her out of doing crazy things like this social media stuff, she says. She says we talked them out of that years ago because that's what they wanted to do. That was something Mel wanted to do back then, and then her and Martell made up, and we just didn't hear from them for like maybe a year until it was time for the show. They called us to a meeting and they was like, hey guys, we want to let y'all know we pitched a show idea, and we told them about the comeback group, and they was like, will y'all be willing to do an interview with them to talk about the comeback group? I was like, sure, fine, yeah. And so now the rest is history. We got the show and everything. But she says prior to that, we had honestly stopped talking because at that time she was saying that Martell blamed the guys for him stepping out, and so that within itself just put like a strain in our relationship. But it was not bad blood. It's like, you stop hanging out with people. It is what it is. When the show comes on, you guys see that our relationship is still iffy. And y'all, she is talking about the friendships here. She's talking about the friendships among all of the couples. Latisha goes on to say, we talked about it. And when I asked her, like, what happened? Why did we stop talking or whatever? And I forgot the response she had, but that's where all that came from. And then on the show, you see them talking about the infidelity. And then it just put a strain on the relationship because we honestly thought they was over it. When we got picked up on the show, we thought they were over everything that happened and they had moved forward. So on the scene with us, like joking about it, we honestly didn't know how to handle the question because we was also asked not to talk about that on the show by Mel and Martell. They asked us not to talk about it. It was like, fine, okay. So when the producers asked us about it, we're like, we didn't even know y'all knew. So in my scene with Marsau in the bedroom, and I'm like, what's going on with Martell? You know, you need to talk to your boy. I'm going to talk to Mel. You talk to your boy. Let's figure out what's going on, because I just didn't know how to approach it on the show, because we was asked by them not to talk about it. But then we have a producer saying, this is reality TV. We know what's going on. You guys are going to talk about it. So I think that just really added to the fire of our relationship, I guess. And then the big coffee scene, and then that moment he slept with 20 women. And then at the coffee scene where you hear me and Mel talking about it, and I'm like, why is Martell lying? And she was like, well, how do you know it's a lie? And I'm like, well, first of all, I do know facts about your relationship that I haven't even said on TV. So if we don't speak the truth, if you're trying to put this out here about my husband, I'm going to speak facts and truth about y'all's situation. And so when the whole BMW statement came up, that was the start of the disaster of our relationship. And I didn't even think that was bad. I could have said way worse. Now I'm an enemy of Melody's when we come back to film this season. And again, y'all, she's talking about the most recent season, which is season 5. She says, I'm like, where did that come from? Because you didn't like what I had to say at the reunion. I don't know if she needed a storyline. I don't know what it is, because it just keeps going and I'm past it. Like, at the end of the day, we don't have to be friends. We're not friends, but you know, let's move forward. And we tried this season. So honey, before I wrap this video, at the end of the day, I believe facts, and there's always two sides to a story. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section of this video. As always, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.